Today we're showing you how to lay down a super simple bass line and then the easy scale shapes you can use to create an awesome solo. The bass line and solo tones will be centered around Light My Fire by The Doors. If you aren't familiar with that song and the guitar solo specifically, now would be a good time to go check that out. Guitarist Robby Krieger does a lot of really unique and interesting stuff on this track, but he keeps the shapes and positions on the neck really simple, and it ultimately allows him to play his best, most free-flowing solo. Last thing before we get going, if you find these tips to be helpful, give us a like and a follow so we can continue bringing you more easy guitar practice. So the bass line is simple, and of course I'll be playing it on guitar, but I also play it in a slightly different way so I can capture the essence of the song while ensuring that things really are simple. It's already meant to be a super mellow bass line, but I basically still just water it down. But trust me, it really is an excellent backing track and still gets that Light My Fire sound. Here's what it sounds like. And here are the tabs for that. Ultimately, you just want a jam track that'll allow you to experiment and play with your lead lines. Now we've got to loop it, so really pay attention to where I'm starting from on the bass line. Not the best, but good enough for me to start practicing my lead lines. And now that we've laid down the backing, we've got to get into the soloing component. So let's start by looking at the main scale shape for this. So the scale shape is basically in one main area, but that's still a lot of notes. Really quick, here are the tabs. Now let's get the backing track going again and talk through the various approaches you can take to improve your soloing skills. But a quick reminder, if you already feel really good with laying down a confident improvised solo, this most likely isn't for you. Okay, so let's hit the backing track. Be relaxed, we're not jumping into anything really intense yet. I would start by just going through the scale and playing along with the backing track. Right? You can go at any speed and still be in sync with the backing track. So, be relaxed, be easy if you're feeling like you're, slipping up or you're not super synced up, right? There's a lot of ways to go slow and, still absorb some value from this. And so again, just going through that. And, you can do that for, if you wanted to use this as your warm-up, setting the bass line and hitting some soloing, you can do that, just that, for 5 to 10 minutes, and that would be super valuable. The next thing I would do is just start it to add in some flavor. Again, you don't have to go fast, you don't have to start ripping into lead lines. So, you throw in a bend or a slide, a hammer-on. Let's just try that out and still keeping it pretty, scalar. Now, you might not be jumping right to something like that, but you've just got that one slide. You've got that half-step slide. Sorry, I always feel like I make this stank face anytime I play anything. But something like that, and of course, if you do just want to practice maybe like a little bend lick, you're allowed to do that. Sit on it. When should I jump back in? You don't have to rush, right? We want repetition, but we want quality repetition. And if you feel like, because sometimes we can get lost in the sauce, so you start getting in the groove and you're like, oh yeah, this is fun, but then all of a sudden you're slipping up, you're going too fast, the bend isn't really nailing, the hammer-ons are, weak, whatever it might be, you can always pull back. And kind of do that more staccato scale work. I'm actually just looking down at my notes over here. The next thing, and I guess really the last thing, the next thing would be to create, some small phrases, all right? So you're taking some of those skills Still very scalar, but you can just start making like a small phrase. And we kind of, this is part of what I was talking about just a moment ago, but nice little phrase, right? You can come back to that regularly. Cool, let's hang out in that neighborhood, right? Ooh, I added something on, right? And so that would be the next step, right? The larger phrase. Now we're kind of soloing. All right, that was a lot to jam into not that much time. So just recognize that refining these improvised soloing skills will take time. However, if you keep at it, you will improve. We really appreciate you stopping by. If you're still here, consider hitting that like button, and we'll see you next time for more easy guitar practice.